Hello everyone. Let's head on to our first case. Case 1. Am I the bad person for being mute to my cheating ex-fiancée, even when she talks to me directly? I, 30M, was engaged to a woman, 30F, but a couple of months ago I was forced to call off our engagement. We were close to our wedding and I found out she'd been having an affair under my nose for months with a close mutual friend. She unashamedly left the house in the middle of the night to see him, came back and confessed to me where she'd been. The wedding that we canceled cost thousands, and we're also trying to sell our house we've only been in for 18 months. She moved out to stay with a close-by stepdad, and I'm in the house as we sell it. I hope none of you have ever been in that situation, but if you have, you'll be aware of the myriad of anger, pain, doubt, frustration, heartbreak, and sadness you feel. She's paying her share of the mortgage and comes back occasionally to get stuff. When she's been back the past few times, she's tried to make conversation, and I can't even look at her. I can't even look in her direction. I give one-word answered at best and am beyond blunt, but not rude with her. She's changed her hair, bought new clothes, and seemingly walked around like the world has moved on, and so has she. The past few times she's been back to the house, she's talked to me, and I've ignored her, literally just blanked her. She's asked me questions like, "Did you have a good week? How's things? Is work busy?" etc., and I've just ignored her. To interact with her hurts too much. We had a few house viewings lately, and she wanted to ask me about who do them, and again, I'd blank her. She'd roll her eyes and look at me and say, "Why are you like this? I just don't understand how you can be like this, and why are you like this now? It's been a few months." The rage I feel, the sadness. The thoughts that run through my mind when she says this are not worth repeating. She's seen me leaving the house before when she's been back and asked where I'm going, when I'll be back, who I'm going to see, and again, no answer. The only replies she gets are via WhatsApp message where it relates to selling the house. I'll give blunt messages and not reply to pleasantries or messages that don't require. I got messages recently to say I was being childish, I was being juvenile, I wasn't helping, my refusal to talk to her was just stupid, etc. I want to scream at her at what she's done and the extent of her betrayal, but I'm not stupid enough to think she'd listen. I'm not stupid enough to think it would change anything. The message "I just don't understand where this is all coming from" is the last one she sent me. I want to lock the door on the day we sell the house, get into my car silently as she's moving out the last of her stuff, and just get into my car and drive off. I want to be an enigma, a nothing that she never heard from again, not even hears my voice. I can't do it. I can't trust myself to talk to her. I want her to be met with silence. The rest is silence. Am I the bad person for refusing to talk at all to my cheating ex-fiancée even when she talks to me? What do you guys think? Lay down your ruling in the comments section and let's move on to our next story. Case 2. Am I the bad person for telling my mom to stop acting like I have my stepdad's last name? My mom and stepdad started dating my stepdad when I, 15F, was 7. My dad died a year before that, but 2 years ago I found out that my parents were heading for divorce when Dad died, and she wasn't happy with him, so moving on faster was easier for her, and that was why she wasn't as sensitive to my feelings when she was dating my stepdad. I like my stepdad, and I'm glad my mom's happy. I have a good relationship with my half-siblings. There aren't any issues between us all. The only thing is I have a different last name to them. My mom took my stepdad's name when they got married. They asked about changing my name and maybe adoption, but I said no. It was dropped when I said no. But my mom on and off will use my stepdad's last name when talking about me instead of my last name. Like sometimes she'll say I'm M. Smith instead of M. Jones. Or she'll tell people I'm a Smith too. When my aunt was planning her wedding, she listed us as Smith-Jones family, and Mom said it was just Smith. My aunt pointed out I was Jones, and my mom stopped fighting it, but said we could just be Smith. There's also times when she full names me, but instead of using my actual full name, she'll use my stepdad's last name instead. It has always bothered me, and I did correct her a few times, but I tried to not to turn it into a fight. I'm not even trying to fight my mom now, but it sort of became one. What happened is my mom ordered this family by heart tree, which is basically something that lets you include whoever. She used full names and put me down as Smith instead of Jones. I told my mom a mistake was made with my name, and she said it wasn't. I told her I didn't like being called a Smith when I'm a Jones. Mom asked what the big deal is, and she said I'm still a Smith regardless. I said I'm a Jones or a Johnson, her old last name, but not a Smith. She asked me why I didn't want to use the family name, and I said I do have the family name, my family name, and I told her she needs to accept it and stop acting like I have my stepdad's last name. He walked in on us talking/fighting about it, and he was hurt that I wanted the name changed, and he asked if we couldn't talk about it when things were calmer. I agreed, and Mom was like, fine. It came back up a couple of days later, and my mom and stepdad were talking about it. Mom started off by saying I'm the kid and I don't get to tell her what to do. I told her I don't see why she keeps trying to act like I have a different last name than I do. I said it might be Dad's last name, but it's mine too, and I don't want to change it. I said I thought they accepted it. My stepdad said he had, but it hurt a little that I was so against using his. My mom said I was making it a bigger deal than it is and that she's not hurting anyone by doing it. She told me Jones still goes on everything official, but I am a Smith too, and she thinks I should want to be. I told her I just want to be able to keep my name the way it is. I told her I don't like when she uses Smith for me specifically. I said if she wants to call us the Smith family, that's fine, that I don't see why she's bothered by Smith Jones, but at least say I'm a Jones. Mom wanted me to apologize for telling her what to do, and I said I couldn't because I don't feel like I'm wrong to say that when I had already told her how I feel. Am I the bad person? What do you guys think of this one? Let us know in the comments section, and let's move on to our next story. Case 3. Am I the bad person for refusing to switch seats on a plane with a guy that was fake crying and saying I need this seat today? So I, 22M, recently took a flight home after visiting some friends. I booked my seat months in advance, a nice window seat, because I like to put my music on and just vibe. I mean, who doesn't? I get on the plane, and there's already a guy, probably mid-30s, sitting in my seat. I politely tell him that he's in the wrong spot. He looks up and just goes, "Oh yeah, I was hoping you'd switch with me. I have a middle seat like 5 rows back." I tell him, "Yeah, no thanks, I picked this seat for a reason." He sighs super dramatically and goes, "Come on, man, have a heart." I just shake my head and say, "Sorry, but I'm sitting in the seat I paid for." At this point, he starts to tell me every bad thing that has happened in his life, because clearly he wasn't that sad of a person but wanted to seem like one. And then he starts crying. Like, loud, over-the-top sobs. The lady next to him looks super uncomfortable. The flight attendant comes over to ask what's going on, and before I can even say anything, he goes, "Is there no humanity left on you, asshole?" I explain the situation, and the flight attendant just stares at him and goes, "Sir, please move." Dude gets up all huffy and says, "Wow. Some people are just heartless." Then he dramatically walks off to his middle seat. I thought that was the end of it, but when we landed, he stood up, looked me dead in the eyes, and said, "I hope you have a terrible life." So, am I the bad person for not switching seats? Can't wrap my head around that story. What do you think? Who is in the wrong there? Let us know down in the comments section, and let's move on to our last case. Case 4. Am I the bad person for calling my sister a nasty bitch after she made comments about my pregnancy? I, F30, finally fell pregnant after trying for 5 years. Recently had our 12-week scan and the baby is healthy. Me and my partner are overjoyed and decided to now tell our family. My family was thrilled for us, as they know this journey hasn't been easy for us. My sister, F28, already has 3 children and is currently 30 weeks pregnant with her 4th. And like a damn child, she's acting like I'm stealing her thunder. Even though I'm doing no such thing on purpose. I know my sister and what she's like, but even I'm a little put off and surprised by her behavior. Little comments she makes, little digs and stuff like that, because she wants all the attention on her. She's always been like this. And although her pregnancy is no less important and a happy occasion for our family, I feel with my news being so fresh and the fact we've been trying for a long time and this is our first, there is perhaps a tiny bit more of a celebratory vibe to my pregnancy due to circumstances, but nothing crazy or anything. My parents and fam still dote on my sister just as much as they dote on me during this time. But my sister is just, well, lack of a better word, a little petty and a drama queen. We were visiting with my parents yesterday for dinner. My sister was there too with her kids, and my mother greeted me by saying hello, then rubbing my belly with giddy chuckle, as she's excited for me. And my sister, who was already there, rolled her eyes and said, "You didn't greet me like that." My mom clicked her tongue and said, "Oh, don't be silly." An hour or so passes, and then one of my very boisterous nephews has this toy mallet thing and hit my stomach, to which I kinda moved away and said, "No, careful, don't do that." My sister says, "Oh, for God's sake, get a grip." Which naturally then started an argument. I said, "Don't tell me to get a grip, I'm pregnant. And I don't want him to hit me in the stomach with a toy." She responds, "So am I. You don't see me being pathetic like that." So I said, "You're on your fourth child. This is my first time. So sorry if I'm a little paranoid. You know my situation and how long I've waited for this." And she rolls her eyes and starts making comments again about how my pregnancy is like the second coming of Christ. Which really upset me, to be honest, so much so that we left, because I just didn't want to deal with it. Before leaving, I called her a nasty, petty bitch. I haven't spoke to her since yesterday, and to be absolutely honest, I don't want to right now. My mom is so upset over this fight, but I told her how I felt and just said I didn't want to talk to my sister right now. Was I the bad person? Was what I said justified? You've sat down, you've listened. Now, it's time to state your ruling. What is it gonna be? Let us have it down in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe for more cases like these. In life, we may run, but we can never hide from true justice. Stay safe, everyone.